Hi everybody, it's Jane from Beyond the Empty Nest, Rediscover You. So today I would like to talk about compulsive behaviour and starting with comfort eating. Do you comfort eat? I know for me, I've definitely had that time in my life where comfort eating was out of my control. I would, if I felt stressed, if I felt upset, if I felt I needed or I deserved a reward, I would be there. I'd be straight to the fridge, to the cupboard, chocolate, biscuits, crisps, anything in the cupboard, cheese, whatever was there, really. And it was kind of like there was a part of my mind going, no, what are you doing? Don't do this. But my hand, I was like watching my hand move to the food, move to my mouth, watching myself eating it without any control over what I was doing. And so it becomes a compulsion, almost like an addiction. And that behavior, it was out of my control. And that's really, really quite a scary place to be when you're not in control. And it's like that destructive part of me, those destructive thoughts that said, you deserve this, you need this, there's no other way, you need this, was firmly in control, and it was much stronger. And it became a battle. But the problem with the battle is that destructive part is much, much stronger than that part of your mind going, no, what are you doing? Don't do this. So, that becomes difficult. And when you're tired, your resistance is low. Your resistance is down. You've got absolutely no chance. And for you, perhaps it's a glass of wine, it's alcohol. Perhaps you can't relax without a glass of wine. Perhaps you need alcohol to help you feel more confident. Perhaps it's cigarettes. It could be anything, and I don't want to sound like I'm preaching and don't do this and don't do that, because it's not. A little bit of indulgence, some indulgence is fine. We want to enjoy our lives. We want to have pleasure. We don't want to make our lives miserable. We want to be able to have the odd piece of cake or something that we enjoy. However, the problem is not that, it's the lack of control. The lack of control that is the problem, not necessarily that you're doing something, you're having something to eat that you enjoy, you're having a glass of wine that you enjoy. So why do we do it? Why do we comfort eat? Why do you think you comfort eat? And I think for me, it's about filling a gap. It's about filling an emptiness. We want to feel nourished. We want to feel nurtured. But the thing is that it doesn't really work. We might have all these feelings, and we know, and we've discussed this feeling in this transition time of the kids moving on, how we can feel lost and confused and rejected, and we don't know who we are anymore. Maybe we've got this deep grief, we're grieving something that we've lost as our kids grow up and move on. And so we've got this gap, we've got this emptiness. But as Abraham Hicks say, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. It's not going to happen, but we think that we can fill that gap with food or whatever it might be. And the problem is that our mind keeps us trapped. Part of our mind keeps us trapped in that cycle, because it thinks, well, there's no other way. This is the only way we can do it. It can't see the bigger picture. When we're in that space, we can't see the bigger picture. And our mind, we get habits of thinking, we get grooves of thinking in our brain, and that is a habit has formed. And also our bodies keep us trapped. We have cravings. when we, generally the things that we comfort eat are things like cake and biscuits and salty things, perhaps sugar, alcohol. And these are the things that they affect our blood sugar. Our bodies begin to crave these things. And you know, I heard the other day that actually some food companies actually put things in the food to keep us addicted to that food. So we're kind of, it's really difficult. And what happens is that, you know, we end up putting on weight that we don't want. And it's literally, you know, because of that pain and because of that behavior, it's like we're carrying the weight of the world with us. And that's really hard. And we're looking to numb that pain. We're looking to numb that pain with the food or whatever. And the other thing is that if you're going through the menopause, things like sugar and alcohol is sugar basically, but they make our symptoms worse. I know for me, it definitely makes my symptoms worse. So things like mood swings, hot flushes, weight gain, sleeplessness, foggy brain, all of those things which we think this is the menopause. A lot of that, yes, it is part of the menopause, but it's so much worse when we are indulging in these behaviours. And also, not only that, but the stress of it, that also makes our symptoms worse. So, and we know that we're putting our health at risk, but we're powerless to stop. We're powerless. And feeling powerless is frightening, isn't it? It's like being in a car that's out of control, the brakes have failed. Actually, that happened to me once. I was in a car and it was a really old Triumph Herald years back, and the brakes failed. And that feeling, that moment, I'm pressing on the brakes and nothing's happening, and I'm going downhill, and it was like, oh my God, you know, I'll just have to pray to the universe that I'm safe. And luckily I was. But that feeling of being out of control, you know, we're vulnerable, aren't we? We're vulnerable to circumstances. We're like a leaf, like a dry leaf, just being blown in the wind. We can go in any direction because we are not in the driving seat. The brakes are not working. We haven't got control. So it's that feeling of powerlessness that I think is really frightening, and it's an isolating place to be. So the other thing, also, as well as comfort eating, perhaps you indulge in escapism. I don't know, maybe you, and it's happened to me, maybe you binge watch TV. Binge watching TV and having food, you know, that classic scene where you see in the film, it's people sat in front of the TV with a big tub of ice cream. Perfect escapism, isn't it? Maybe you feel like you have to constantly be busy. You can't ever relax. You can't be quiet. You can't be on your own because you've always got to have some distraction going on. The TV, the radio, talking to people, being on the phone, and it's exhausting. But you have to do it because, you know, you're escaping. You need that escape. And, you know, what is it that we're escaping? What is it that we're escaping? Again, it's those feelings, it's that pain. And let's face it, we want to escape pain, don't we? It's understandable. Pain it's uncomfortable. It can be unbearable at times. And it's like we do anything to escape that pain. We do anything to push it away or push it down, bottle it up. The problem is that it doesn't work. It might work briefly, but it doesn't work long term. And you know, anything that you push against pushes back harder. Anything you push down it resurfaces even stronger with even more potency. So we try to push these things away. We try to push them down. We don't want to face what's going on with our emotions because they're too painful. And every time we push them away, they come back stronger. And they come back stronger, and then we feel we have to do more to escape. So we're constantly on the run. We're constantly compelled to these behaviours, whether it be comfort eating, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, whether it be feeling you've got to constantly be busy watching TV. Maybe it's, I don't know, sometimes for people it's retail therapy. It's not really therapy, but maybe you go shopping and you're thinking, you know, maybe that gets you into debt. There's all sorts of things that this compulsive behaviour leads to, all sorts of problems. And I think also, you know, this feeling of powerlessness, it eats away at our self-belief. It eats away at our confidence. And we end up becoming a bit like an ostrich with our head stuck in the sand. I think ostriches do that. But we end up sticking our head in the sand and life just takes over. And you know, you've got that vicious circle, and the more we try to get out of it, you know, the more we try and escape, the more it comes back stronger, these feelings that we're trying to escape from. And the science of yoga, it refers to it as a spiral of disempowerment, because you're becoming disempowered. Yeah. And I've been there, I know, I understand. It's really hard to get out of. And the other thing is that when we do these things, when we engage in these behaviours, what we're doing, the reason we're doing it is to numb our feelings. We're numbing our feelings. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to numb sadness, grief, rejection, confusion, loneliness? Why would we not want to numb those feelings? But the problem is when we numb, we can't selectively numb those feelings. When we numb our feelings, we numb all of our feelings. So we numb joy, we numb excitement, we numb appreciation, we numb being able to love and really just enjoy our lives. So we become numb. And have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions of your day? You're just going through the motions of your life. You're going from one thing to another, but you're numb inside. You're not really feeling anything. So that can be another aspect of this behaviour that we do to ourselves that, that has a massive impact on our lives. We can't enjoy our lives, and that's sad because that's who we're meant to be. We are meant to live in joy. We are meant to appreciate our lives. You know, when we get to the end of our lives, I love that saying, nobody on their deathbed wishes they'd spent more time in the office. We wish we'd enjoyed our lives. We wish we'd enjoyed the people in our lives. We wish we'd appreciated what we had. Sometimes we don't realise what we have until it's gone. We wish we'd appreciated it at the time. And because we're numbing our emotions, we're not able to do that. And that is sad. So what do we do about it? Well, I think the first thing, which is what we're doing now, is to really become aware of it. I think sometimes we're so used to doing these things that we don't realise what we're doing. So become aware of what we're doing. Become aware of how actually it is impacting our lives, and not to give ourselves a hard time. Now, we're not in it for giving ourselves a hard time. I say this to all my clients, please, please do not give yourself a hard time. Do not blame yourself. It is just where we are. So first of all, when we see what we're doing, we're able then to stand back. And standing back gives us an amazing perspective. Think of an eagle. I love thinking of eagles. An eagle flying high, it's looking down on something that from ground level seems huge. And from an eagle perspective, it's actually quite small. So when we stand back, it gives us a bit of distance, a bit of time to kind of see what's happening and maybe tune into what might I be able to do to help this, because you've got that bigger picture. And, you know, it's about accepting where we are. No blame, no judgment, but accepting where we are, facing it. And that can be really hard. It's a bit like facing the monster under the bed. You know, we're kids, maybe we thought, oh, there's a monster under the bed. But then when we look under the bed, when we shine our torch, it's not there, it's not real. But I think it's hard to do that. And so maybe, you know, asking for help, asking for guidance, and being with other people who can support us. I think that's a really important step. Not being on your own with it, not feeling like you're on your own with it, because sometimes we can feel like we're the only ones going through this. Know you're not on your own. Know there are other people, and know that there is help and guidance out there. So if you're sick of this vicious circle of compulsive behavior, that you've got no control over your life, you're feeling powerless, I can help you. I can help give you an integrated approach, the body, the mind, the spirit, because I think it's that integrated approach that works. Only through that integrated approach, and, you know, having a mentor, having someone to guide you. And it doesn't matter where you are, because we can do things over the internet, the power of the internet. So I'd really love to help you. And if this is something that's really affecting you, and if you want to move forward, you're really ready to move forward, then message me. You can private message me on Facebook. We can arrange to have a chat, a discussion, and look at moving you forward and getting you those results that I've got for other people. So thank you for listening. It's been lovely to have you with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Lots of love.